What up, YouTube? So, I just got finished a while ago trying to get through this Trayvon Martin book, The Enduring Life of Trayvon Martin. Um, and I wanted to take a break because there was a lot of reading. Trying to read a book with small print and pretty much needing my glasses to read. Um, could definitely be a pain in the butt sometimes, especially with these long chapters. And in the mix of reading a book, I end up looking over at the dresser, and I know it's my aunt's obituary was on the dresser, and since this is the month of June, and this month last year on the 9th, as y'all can see, June 9th, 2024, I lost my aunt. And this is her obituary. It says 11 in memory of Katrina L. Cambridge, September 26, 1968 to June 9th, 2024. And that is a picture of her. Um, the majority of the pictures are of her children and other family members. Most of these pictures she's in, some she's not in. Um, this is pretty much what it looks like. Hold on. You got pictures of her, her children, grandchildren. You see my Uncle Albert and her. My mom is in some of these pictures, cousins, my brother and hold on. It's pictures from my parents, my mom and my stepdad wedding. It's just pictures of different moments. I can't explain every picture because I don't know where they is at when they're taken and stuff like that, but anywho, I'm not even sure who did this obituary, who is all part of it. Because, like I said in previous videos, um, like I said in previous videos, there was a group on Facebook, and I guess certain family were included in the group, so they was talking about whatever. I wasn't part of the group. Um, I just knew very little from conversations. And the only how I found out my aunt was having a funeral is through conversations and seeing the obituary flyer that my uncle Benny posed. That's how I found out, just being on Facebook and looking through people posts on my timeline. Um, I could have done this video days before, but I guess since it's still the month of June, and just looking over at the dresser and seeing this laying there, I was like, why not? So I have all my aunts. When it comes to my aunts on my mother's side, her sisters and stuff. Um, I was pretty close to all of them, but throughout my older years, I could say I spent a lot of time around my aunt Trina. There's moments I spent with my aunt, with my aunt Shabazz. There's moments I spent with my aunt Ciola. My aunt Shonda lived with my aunt Shabazz most of the time, so if I was with my aunt Shabazz, of course I eventually see my aunt Shonda. Um, but yeah, one of the main aunts I was around was my aunt Trina, and from my memory, this is going all the way back to Darby. Um, there were times that her and my uncle Albert and her children lived with us, but then there were times where they didn't. And from what I remember, they lived right across the street. And this is after. Now I don't I do remember they had a house. I don't remember exactly where it was. I mean, other family members probably could tell more information, but I do remember going to this house. I just don't remember the name of the block. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I do remember this one house they had. And I remember this one house they had. I believe it was at. I do remember we lived somewhere in West Philly, and I do in a way, I kind of remember the apartment that we lived in. It was just a lot of family members in one apartment. I think it was probably like one family that was no kin, but everybody else was pretty much family in some type of way. When we lived in West Philly, I remember it was my mom, me, my mom. It was me, my mom, my two older siblings, my brother, my sister. Then eventually my little brother from my stepdad, and we was all in one apartment. And I believe my aunt Shabazz, um, one of her baby fathers and children lived in one apartment. Then my aunt Trina lived in another. Then I believe it was my aunt Pitt, um, Uncle Dwight and cousin Rena in another. And then it was another family. I don't remember. But I do remember apartment. Then I don't remember much about the apartment. I would have to hear family stories, but I do remember apartment. Um for some reason I think my uncle R was a construction worker around that time. I'm not too sure, but I got a feeling He might have worked in construction or something around that time. I don't know why construction keep popping up in my head. Somebody worked in construction around that time. I believe it was him. But I do remember the apartment. Everybody having their own different apartments. That joint probably burned down or something. From the last I remember. The last I remember being in that area was years later. I was going to a funeral of I guess you could say, family friend. Anywho, um, then eventually we moved. Me and my family we moved to Darby, and my aunt Janet lived across the street at first up until she passed away. And then my aunt Trina eventually moved with her, my uncle Albert, and my cousins. They all moved in the apartment my aunt Janet lived in. And I would go over there either to spend the night or to be babysat or whatever the case may be. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't always like it there. Not that I had any issues with my family, because I always loved being around my family. But I like having freedom. I like going places, having fun, and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, there were times where we would have to be babysat and going to my aunt Trina's house. I didn't always like it. Of course, you young, you want to have as much. I mean, being a late '92 baby, I feel like I could have just as much freedom as my older cousins and my older siblings and stuff like that. I wanted to go places. They used to go to my great grandparents' house whenever they wanted to, and I didn't always have the opportunity. Uh, then they'd come back later on that night with snacks, all types of shit. While I was sitting in the house, bored, waiting for dinner, which my aunt cooked chicken. She loved making fried chicken, rice, corn, and many other specialties she used to make. But one of the main things I remember was my aunt always making fried chicken. For as long as I can remember, most of the time it was fried chicken. And everybody loved my aunt's fried chicken. Potato salad would eventually come later on down the line, but fried chicken was one of her specialties. Um, Let me read this before I could carry on my story. So I already showed y'all the picture. So it says the life story of Katrina L. Cambridge on the fateful day of Sunday, June 9th, 2024. The Almighty God decided to bring Katrina Lucretia Cambridge home to eternal race. Uh, I read that wrong. To eternal rest with her sister Marcy at her side and her family's love and prayers surrounding her. Katrina would grace the world with her presence on September 26, 1968, in the bustling city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Born to Edith Cambridge, which is my grandmother, and Wayne Moody, which is my grandfather. Um, he actually was there at the funeral, but I was so in my head and stuff. I didn't walk up. I didn't want to shock him or scare him or anything like that. And I was too busy being greeted by a whole bunch of other family members and family friends and stuff. I didn't get the chance to walk up to him and say, "Hey, I'm your grandson," or anything like that. Plus, I didn't speak at the funeral. He sat in the front, and by the time I got to the front, around the time everything was over, everybody was walking up to me, speaking to me, hugging me, and stuff like that. And then, like I said, I was in my own head, so I eventually walked out. Anywho, um, she graduated from Franklin Learning Center, where her love of learning and growth was nurtured. Trina, who she was finally called, had a zest for life and found joy in the little things, especially cooking. Her ability to connect with people and provide solutions to their problems made her a beloved figure in her community. She cherished moments with her family, especially her nephew Dave, whom she considered like a son, with an uncanny capacity to positively touch lives. Trina left a lasting legacy of love and kindness that will be remembered for generations. Her children and grandchildren were her greatest treasures, and she took immense pride in being a mother and grandmother. Um, Trina's heart was pure gold, and her radiant smile will light up the room. She will be deeply missed, but her legacy lives on through her children, siblings, friends, and countless lives she touched. She is survived by her children, Shaquata T. Uh, let me not say last names. Shaquata Kashif, Ilya, who we call JR, and Marcy, who we call Dominique, her middle name. Um, Her siblings Adam, Marcy, Ciola, Shabazz, Shonda, and Marquita, who I call Amarki. Her dear friend Albert, my uncle Albert, and numerous aunts, uncles, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends who will ensure that her legacy of love lives on. Love and submitted to family. Sorry if I was pronouncing stuff wrong, whatever. Anywho. Then the memorial service was on the 22nd, June 22nd, 2024. Um, they have a poem in the back. All right, so yes, that is true. Um, my aunt, she was somebody who, although she had her own issues, she is the type of person who will push her issues aside and help out with anything. Even if she didn't have it, she'd make a way to get it. You could be going through the struggles, and if she felt like that you really needed the help and you was going to work hard to help yourself, she was going to help you. Um, and she was the type of person throughout her life that knew many people, had a lot of friends. I mean, a lot of friends, all different races, genders, preferences, whatever. She was cool with anybody and everybody, and she was non-judgmental unless you gave her a reason. And even if you gave her a reason, everybody have their flaws, and as long as you ain't come for her the wrong way, she ain't gonna come for you. Um, Me myself, like I said, me and my aunt was close. Not saying we didn't have moments, because she could be a pain in the butt at times, and I'm pretty sure I could be too. Um, but we were pretty close. Um, Especially when it comes to my preference, because I wasn't as open with everybody. Like, I wasn't as open with everybody else. When I was around my aunt Trina, I didn't care. because I seen how she respected people, no matter what you was going through. She had respect for anybody and everybody. So I'm pretty sure she was one of the main people. Now, when it comes to my mom's side of the family, she was one of the main people, and this is just speaking on aunts and uncles. She was one of the main people who I believe knew, and just by seeing how she treated other people, I felt comfortable enough to be my true self. Um, Being around her, I was very open minded, free spirited. I said what was on my mind. I didn't sugarcoat shit. If I felt it, I said it. Even though sometimes my opinion did get me in trouble. Um, I could be shy at times, although outspoken, and I try to be a people person, depending on vibes and energy. Um, the crazy thing about it is, one of the last conversations I remember having, like full conversations I remember having, other than texting on Facebook, one of the actual last conversations I remember having was during the hospital visit. Um, I went with my mom because I found out, yeah, my aunt wasn't feeling well and she was in and out the hospital. Even when I lived with her for 3 years, she had a hospital moment that I eventually spent some time with her. Uh, Not going to speak on the incident, but yeah, I spent most of the day with her at the hospital during one of her hospital visits. But anyway, so I remember one time my mom was saying she was going to the doctor, and I asked, "Can I go?" Because I wanted to see my aunt. And um, we got a little hungry, so my mom and my cousin Kashif, they went out to go get some food. And I really haven't seen it, many people since I left out of West Philadelphia. So yeah, I went to go see my aunt. Was that the first time I seen her since leaving West Philly? Cause actually it was actually twice. I lived there for 3 months. No, not 3 months. I lived there for 3 years. And then some situation happened where I ended up going back with my sister, niece, and nephew. And then I came back. So since the second time leaving West Philly, I really haven't been around anybody. Uh, so yeah, that probably was one. So that probably was one of those moments where I finally was back around my aunt. And like I said, my my mom and my cousin left out to get some food or whatever, and of course, my aunt ain't see me in a minute, so she has asked me questions like "How you doing?" and stuff like that, or "How you been?" And I was telling her that I decided to start Full Sail and out and what I was studying. And I was telling her like, yeah, trying to get my BFA in creative writing, and telling her how I wanted to write books and stuff, and it was something she always knew I loved doing because I love writing and love reading. And she'd just let me know, like, remember to text me and stuff like that. And so anyway, yeah, we had conversation or whatever. And then when my cousin, my mom came back, we chilled and we talked or whatever the case may be, up until it's time for us to go. And there was a few other times I seen her. But that was one of the main times. I mean, that was one of the main times we had a conversation. I was telling her about what I'm doing since leaving West Philadelphia. Um, any of the other times, it was me doing most of the talking because she, anyway. Um, I remember a lot. Like I remember times we would go out. Um, like I said, I could always be myself. Like my during events, I already knew I could truly be myself. Being gay, being feminine, dancing, twerking, shaking ass, whatever you want to call it. My aunt was one of those people who had my back no matter what. She dared somebody to come at her nephew the wrong way. And I remember, and the crazy thing about it is, I wanted to speak on the incident at the funeral because it's one main incident I remember, and I've probably spoken on YouTube before. But like I said, I was sitting somewhere where I wasn't. I mean, I should have sat in the front, somewhere close to the front, so I could have stood up and been one of the people to speak at the funeral because I really, really, really did want to. But I don't know. Anywho, plus they're saying you only had 2 minutes to speak, and I'm pretty sure I probably would have been up there for probably more than 2 minutes. So anyway, one of the I don't know if like I don't know what my family doing, especially with all the shit that's going on in the world right now. I thought that maybe it'd be nice to have a family get together and stuff like that, and we reminisce about family members that we lost and stuff. Or they probably would have done a party for my aunt in her memory, and my cousin Cisco who passed, and I'm gonna say my uncle Rudy who also passed. They all passed around the same time. Cisco in May. No. Cisco in April. Rudy in May. Trina in June. All of 2024. Um but yeah, like I was saying, so this is one incident where it was a Halloween party. Yeah, it was a Halloween party, and this had to be probably like in 2014, or yeah, I believe it was like 2014. It was a Halloween party. Um, I didn't ever think we was gonna make it to the Halloween party because we couldn't find a ride, but somebody from the block who I didn't get along with. But I'm like, look, you give us a ride, fuck it. Somebody from the block gave us a ride, and anywho, I remember because I still got the pictures. I had this black beanie hat. I had this long curly wig that had like a honey blonde ombre. My lips had some black lip gloss and lipstick. Um, I don't know who I was trying to dress up like. I don't know. I don't know if I was trying to be gothic, rock starish. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was just a feminine version of myself. That was a Halloween party. You know, the kids have their moment first, and then the adults turn up. And like I said, my aunt knew a lot of people. So she had friends over. Friends brought their kids over. My cousins, they had their friends over. people were just popping up. And I remember it was getting late. I didn't dance. I didn't walk up and down the steps and up and down steps and up and down steps. A lot of people was coming over. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had their opinion seeing me in a wig. I don't give not one fuck. So, I remember. I'm guessing it was a friend of my aunt's. I don't remember who this friend was. I don't even know if this same exact friend showed up at the funeral, because there was a lot of people at the funeral. A lot of people. I wish I was able to record in there, or I wish I had a phone fully charged enough to record the whole service. But the phone probably would have died in the middle. And no one posted any videos from the funeral. I don't ever think anybody really was recording at the funeral. Anywho, my thumbnail is actually a picture that I got from another family member off Facebook, part of the funeral, where at least where my aunt ashes were. Anywho, so like I was saying, there's this inside. I guess it was a friend of my aunt's, and my uncle had a car seat or something, not like a baby car seat, but like an actual car seat in the dining room area at the house my aunt and them was living in. And I was getting sleepy, so like when people get tired and it's getting late, everybody just lay anywhere, wherever you can find a place at, you just lay wherever. And I remember I wasn't asleep, but I had my back turned to everybody, and I remember I don't know if the lady was trying to speak to me or she was trying to get my attention or why she was asking my aunt who was laying. She kept referring to me as a female. Now, and I feel like she was doing it being the fuck smart. Maybe she had too many drinks or whatever, and I still don't remember who this lady was. I just remember it was a light-skinned lady with a ponytail. Um, I snatched the wig off my head, snatched the head off my head, and went back to laying down. And she still kept trying to refer to me as a female. And my aunt Trina, she snapped out like, "That's my nephew." But like I said, the lady probably had too many drinks, or she probably was as high as fuck, or whatever the case may be. And I think it was a lot that happened that night. From what I remember, I think a lot of there's several parts that happened. So maybe I'm tripping, but I remember it was a Halloween party. That's the only time I probably would have worn a wig. Um, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can find the pictures so y'all could get a glimpse of what I wore around the time. I believe it's on this page. I'm about to show y'all the picture if I can find it. I believe it, like I said, I believe it's on this page. Because I got 3 different Facebook pages. I got some Darby photos. So, matter of fact, let me screen share now. Sorry, y'all. So, this is Main Street. This is Main Street, and we actually lived in that in the apartment with that door that says second F. What it say? And like I say, D second FL. Right next, I mean that door right next to the window with the gold looking mailbox spy. 502 Main Street. That is the first place we lived at, right next to Queen of Pizza. And the crazy thing about it is I had some dreams about, for some reason I kept having dreams about moving back to Darby for whatever reason. I don't know. But that is Main Street where we lived at. Me, my mom, my stepdad, my older brother and sister, and three of my younger siblings. That is, I'm not sure if that's the name of the barbershop. That was the name of the barbershop when I used to live in on Main Street and get my hair cut. But that's the barbershop where if anybody watched my old videos and I told y'all a story about how I had a barber named Jeff, and a lot of people would come up to me asking me was I the little boy in the picture he had hanging up on the wall. This is a exact barbershop that I used to get my haircuts in. That is a poppy store that we used to go to. And this is part of the elementary school, Walnut Elementary, the school I got kicked out of for kicking the principal in the stomach. My Uncle Benny used to live right across the street from that school. And my babysitter, our babysitter, Miss Pauline, used to most of the time take us to this corner store. Or she'd take us to the one down the street from the barbershop I just showed y'all. And this is another photo showing y'all Walnut Elementary, the school that I got kicked out of. I remember this yard very well because, as y'all see, that I guess you could call it a little stage part near the wall. We used to have to stand in that area, and it's crazy because I never really spoke too much on Walnut Elementary, but as y'all can see, y'all see the steps, right? I don't know if y'all see the arrow. Y'all see the steps. Now y'all see behind the gate, y'all see the wall, y'all see there's like a stage part, a stage looking part. We used to have to stand in front of that. And all the way to the back where you see part of the building, there was some steps. And we used to walk out at the end of the day. Or we used to be playing around in that park during recess. But we used to walk out at the end of the day, and whoever was coming to pick us up. Anywho, but yeah, just looking at this picture, bring back some memories. Anywho, let me get back to what I was like. The point I was trying to. Well, the picture I actually was looking for. That's actually me and my Trina house when I was babysitting my cousin Bryson, my cousin Dominique's son. And then we were sitting in Dominique's room. Uh, where's the picture at? I don't know if it's on this page. It gotta be. I got a bunch of wig pictures. This is me and baby Bryson. The first time I met him. This is at my parents' house. The house before this one. Um, uh, right across the street from where I go to the doctor's at. And I get it was a family gathering for whatever reason. I don't know. Probably Thanksgiving or something. But yeah, like I said, this was the first time I met Bryson, and that's me holding him when he was a baby. Anyway, where is this damn picture? Because I'm over here showing you everything else except for the picture I'm looking for. Where the hell? Yeah, I don't know if it's on this page. It might be on another one. And of course, that is my Aunt Trina, the only one in a dress similar to the wedding dress on stage. That's her with the tattoo on her arm, standing next to um. Well, behind me, you can see her face in the middle. I mean, in a circle. My arms and hands are making. That is my cousin Quatta's, one of her ex boyfriend's daughter, who is a flower girl. Um, then it's my brother Little. Well, his name is Edward Jr., my stepdad's name. Um, that's his girlfriend. On the other side of me, you have my cousin Jocelyn. looking like she either taking a picture or recording me. Was my aunt recording me? Because unless she got a phone in her hand. And I think she was talking to my cousin Tracy on my dad's side. No, her name not Tracy. Her name Terry. I'm sorry. Um, in the middle of my, is it my cousin? I can't really tell. That might be her or no. I don't know who that. I can't tell who that is. I have to actually see the face. I can't tell who that is because a lot of people hairstyles was similar. That could be anybody that my aunt Trina is looking at and talking to. But in between my aunt Trina, who you see holding the phone, and whoever this is, that is Erica. She is a girl that lived on the block. She was too old to be the flower girl, but my mom was cool with her dad and her mom. So she and my mom used to do her hair, so she couldn't stay away from my mom. So of course, was no kids actually supposed to be at the wedding, but she came anyway. So the only kids that was at the wedding was pretty much her, the flower girl, and my little brother. Well, my youngest brother Dylan. Then you have my cousin Tom, who is dressing her Muslim garb. Uh, that's my aunt Pick's stepdaughter and my uncle Dwight daughter. Family on my aunt Trina and Uncle Albert's side. Anywho, so yeah, and like I said, I'm showing you all types of pictures, but I just wanted to show y'all this picture since my aunt Trina is in it. There's a whole bunch of people in this picture. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. One thing I could say is my mom and my stepdad wedding was probably one of the best days. Not fully the best day because it was people getting on my nerves, but like just the wedding period was the best moment of the day. Before and after, it's whatever, but just the wedding itself, I had fun. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that picture because my aunt Trina was in it. But I'm trying to find the actual picture. I don't think it's on this page. Yeah, I don't think it's on the page because this is going to dread pictures. And I know for sure I didn't have dreads around the time I took the picture I'm looking for. Where's the picture at? This is irritating. Because for some reason, I cannot find the pictures I'm looking for. I see all these other pictures, but not the picture I'm looking for. This might be the wrong damn page. Where? Hold on. You gotta be on one of these damn pages. Why I keep looking, seeming like I'm going to the same damn page? This is irritating. It gotta be some damn weird. Why I keep seeing like I'm going through the same damn pictures? Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all this picture just so y'all could get a glimpse of what I was wearing that night and how I remember what happened so well. And I know for sure I took a picture. I know for sure I took a picture of wearing what I wore, but I don't know. I got all the damn wig pictures. Yep, I got all the damn wig pictures and can't even find the main one I'm looking for. Was I wearing the ball's head? I probably was. Yep, I think the ball's head is actually the head I was wearing during that time. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find the pictures. Let me check this other page. Let me check this page and see if I find what I'm looking for. This is a picture of me sitting at one of the houses, probably the most recent one. But yeah, I believe this is a picture of me in my Aunt Trina house. I cannot find what I'm looking for. It gotta be on one of these damn pages. I'm really getting mad because I can't find what I'm looking for, and I know for sure I took a picture because it was around the same pictures of when I. I'm gonna keep looking because I know for sure it gotta be on one of these damn pages. It gotta be on one of these pages. And as y'all see, I got several pictures of my aunt on my page. Um, this is a picture of my great grandparents. Um, my great grandmother, who the family called mom, her name was Ciola, which is one of my aunt's name. Katrina, who is another one of my aunts, the one that this video is about. Nettles, and then eventually Cambridge. And then this is my great grandfather, Benson Howard Cambridge. I'm not sure where they was at in this photo, but yep, that's my great grandparents, mom and dad. And I love and miss them dearly. But where is the goddamn picture? You could tell my aunt's fair color was purple because that's her cover that my uncle somehow got, and he used to block the dining room area out. I mean, out the way of view for whatever reason. And this is big cover with a purple rose. This is some wig photos of me at my aunt house. I didn't cut the wig the way it was, or style the wig the way it actually was supposed to be styled. But anyway, oh no, oh no, that wasn't. Hold on. No, that wasn't. No, I thought this was pictures I took at my aunt house, but I don't. No, these pictures might have been here. That wig just looked like one that I think I had at my aunt house, but that might be here. I mean, I can't find this particular picture, and I done look through these Facebook pages back to back, and for whatever damn reason, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. I've been looking and looking and looking, and still, I have not found the picture that I'm looking for. All right, here they go. Finally found them. So this is the actual. I mean, this is the hat and the wig and everything that I wore, and I'm getting. Yeah, this was in probably like 2014 or 2000. Yeah, 2014. So this is what I wore to the Halloween party my aunt had. I had the glasses, the hat, the wig. My lips was painted black with some black lipstick. I don't know what I was going as. I don't know. But this is just some pictures that I took. This is the wig. It was a nice thick curly wig with honey or golden blonde ombre. And that is all I wore during that night where my Aunt Trina had to check somebody. And then with that checking, my Aunt Denise, she also stepped in because my mom was upstairs. I think they probably told her about it after everything happened. My mom eventually came downstairs, but yeah, my Aunt Trina and my Aunt Denise was not playing. They was about to whoop ass that night. But yeah, that is what I wore. All right. Um, I wanted to say a whole lot more, but I've been already on here for about a whole hour or something, so I'll probably give y'all more stories later on because I didn't spend most of the time looking for the damn pictures. Yeah, I'm gonna probably come back and do a part two.